There is something special, almost palpable, in the presence of the chosen ones. They carry an inner light, a glow that does not go unnoticed by those around them. Many who cross the path of the chosen do not fully understand the true nature of this radiance, yet they are irresistibly drawn to it, like moths to a flame. This glow represents pure energy, a spiritual force that the chosen ones carry, capable of bringing inspiration and peace to those who also seek to elevate their consciousness. However, this same light in its intensity also attracts those who wish to extinguish or control it, especially those who resonate at denser frequencies. Not everyone who approaches the chosen does so with clear or benevolent intentions. Some, without even knowing the exact reason, feel compelled to come closer only to manipulate, distort, or weaken this energy. Often, these are people with internal wounds and darkness they do not know how to heal, who end up projecting their pain onto those who shine more intensely. Among these individuals, narcissists stand out as those who are most frequently drawn to the light of the chosen. They see the strength and kindness of a peaceful spirit as something to be possessed, controlled, or used to feed their own ego. For the chosen ones, this contact with those who seek to dim their light is not only a test of spiritual resilience. It is an invitation to self-knowledge and evolution. These interactions are difficult, challenging, and sometimes painful. However, when understood deeply, they can serve to reveal the truth about the chosen one's power and the role each experience plays in their growth. In this video, we will dive deeply into understanding these interactions, the lessons they offer, and the spiritual tools that can protect and strengthen the chosen one along the way. If you watching have ever felt like you attract people who seem to have hidden purposes or unclear intentions, or if you felt your light threatened by those who, instead of supporting, try to control, then know that there is purpose in all of this. Together, we'll explore how to protect your energy and honor your light, transforming these experiences into essential steps for your spiritual growth. When the chosen begin to understand their value and purpose, a strength emerges that manifests from within. This process of self-worth and empowerment is the foundation that sustains and protects them against unbalanced energies that approach, especially those who seek control or manipulation. Self-worth is not just a practice of self-esteem. It is a deep understanding of one's own value, of who one is in essence, and of how much one can positively impact the world. By valuing themselves, the chosen recognize their purpose and the respect needed to remain whole and true to themselves. This self-valuation is what we call a spiritual shield. It is an invisible yet powerful barrier that the chosen erect around their energy, a clear boundary that communicates to the world that their light is sacred and will not be affected by disharmonic energies. When we connect with this shield, we are, in fact, strengthening our own ability to set boundaries, to say no when necessary, and to avoid the exhaustion that can arise from trying to please or heal everyone around us. Imagine yourself in the middle of a crowd, where different types of energies converge around you. Some of these energies are calm and beneficial, but others carry emotional loads or even intentions that can undermine your inner peace. The spiritual shield acts as a filter, allowing you to sense these energies without absorbing them, maintaining internal harmony and protecting your own vibration. Setting clear boundaries is a way of respecting not only your energy but also the journey of each person, recognizing that not everyone is ready to receive or share light in a healthy way. For the chosen, the journey of self-knowledge is essential. It allows them to recognize patterns of manipulation and protect themselves from toxic relationships, understanding when someone is trying to undermine their confidence or distort their purpose. By learning to say no and maintain healthy boundaries, the chosen strengthen their spiritual journey in peace. They become increasingly aware that their value does not depend on external approval but rather on a connection with their own spirit and the purpose the universe has entrusted to them. True empowerment comes from this connection to one's own value and purpose. The chosen no longer seek validation outside because they understand they are already complete within. This realization is the essence of self-worth, and with it comes a lasting peace that protects and sustains the spiritual journey, regardless of what others around them may try to impose. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful tools for the chosen to achieve liberation, a path that allows the breaking of emotional ties with those who attempted to manipulate or control them. Often, forgiveness is mistaken for acceptance or reconciliation, but it is, in truth, an individual practice aimed at inner peace. Forgiving is a conscious choice to free oneself from the weight of resentment, hurt, and anguish, creating space for personal healing and spiritual advancement. When the chosen decide to forgive, they stop carrying the emotional baggage of another person, understanding that such feelings can be limiting and impede their growth. Imagine a traveler who, during their journey, accumulates stones in their backpack every time they feel hurt by someone. Over time, this backpack becomes too heavy, making the journey, which was once light and inspiring, exhausting and painful. Forgiveness is like releasing these stones one by one, allowing the traveler to regain their lightness and rediscover the beauty of the path they walk. Just like the traveler, the chosen who practice forgiveness reclaim their energy and reconnect with their purpose, free from the limitations of old wounds. Forgiving does not mean one must forget or minimize what happened. It is, above all, a way of accepting the experience as part of the learning process. Each difficult interaction, each person who tried to dim the chosen's light, is like a mirror reflecting important lessons. By forgiving, the chosen transforms these challenges into wisdom, using them as a springboard to reach new levels of understanding and strength. This practice turns pain into learning, preventing open wounds from compromising their inner peace. Forgiving is also a way of reclaiming one's own power. Instead of allowing another to control their thoughts and emotions, the chosen take responsibility for their emotional well-being, understanding that inner peace is a choice and a state that is cultivated. When we refuse to forgive, we remain bound by an energetic connection to the past. By forgiving, we cut these ties and make room for the new, for freedom. Forgiveness, therefore, is an act of courage and wisdom. It allows the chosen to continue their journey with lightness, focused on their purpose, without being held back by past stories. This practice brings not only liberation but also a sense of peace that illuminates the path ahead, allowing the chosen to move forward with confidence and serenity. Intuition is one of the greatest gifts that the chosen can develop, a silent and powerful compass that offers subtle and reliable guidance on the spiritual path. It acts as a beacon, guiding the chosen even when circumstances are uncertain and external signs seem confusing. Developing this perception is essential for protecting against manipulations and making decisions aligned with the divine purpose. Intuition is not always a logical or rational answer but a deep understanding, an inner knowing that resonates with a certainty beyond reason. Intuition helps us sense the energy around us, to detect the true intentions behind people's words and actions. Instead of blindly trusting appearances, the chosen deeply feel the truth that words often conceal. This sensitivity is a direct line to divine wisdom, which manifests as a premonition, a feeling of alertness, or conversely, a sense of peace and trust. By listening to this inner voice, the chosen strengthen themselves, developing the ability to sense people's intentions, anticipate potential manipulations, and distance themselves from situations and relationships that could divert them from their purpose. To strengthen this skill, practices such as meditation and the mindful observation of external signs are valuable. Meditation allows the mind to find silence and external noise to dissipate, creating a space where intuition can emerge clearly. During this moment of inner silence, the connection with the divine is reinforced, and the whispers of the heart become more audible. Additionally, the mindful observation of signs around us, whether synchronicities, repeated patterns, or symbolic messages, broadens spiritual vision. The chosen learn to recognize these signs, understanding that they are part of constant communication with the universe. Trust is the fundamental element for intuition to be a true ally. Trusting the feelings that arise, the hunches that insist on being heard, is an act of respect for this subtle wisdom. Intuition rarely shouts, it speaks quietly in a calm but sure tone. Sometimes, trusting intuition requires the courage to follow the less traveled path, to distance oneself from relationships that, on the surface, seem favorable but ultimately do not resonate with the chosen's truth. In developing this skill, the chosen discover that intuition is one of the strongest forms of spiritual protection. It is an invisible shield, a silent armor that keeps them safe and aligned, away from manipulative intentions and energies that do not contribute to their growth. By strengthening this intuition, the chosen learn to navigate the world with wisdom and discernment, making decisions that, even if misunderstood by others, are clearly aligned with their purpose and inner truth. Vulnerability is a powerful quality, manifesting as openness and authenticity in a world where appearances often prevail. However, it is essential that this vulnerability is conscious and well-directed. For the chosen, who carry greater sensitivity and a special life mission, it is crucial to find the balance between being authentic and protecting their own energy. Sharing feelings and experiences with sincerity is an act of courage, but at the same time, exposing oneself excessively or in inappropriate environments can leave the chosen vulnerable to manipulation. Being consciously vulnerable means being in tune with one's essence but also discerning with whom to share this part of oneself. Opening one's heart is not a weakness. On the contrary, it is an expression of strength and trust. However, this openness must be guarded by clear boundaries, as not everyone who approaches has positive intentions. Some may take advantage of this vulnerability to manipulate, to extract information and energy that could later be used in harmful ways. Vulnerability, therefore, is a gift but should be shared with wisdom and caution. Practicing self-awareness is a powerful tool for protecting this vulnerability, allowing the chosen to remain authentic without feeling exposed. Self-awareness involves observing one's thoughts, emotions, and reactions, identifying when sharing feelings can lead to genuine connection and when it is safer to keep these insights within. Through this practice, the chosen learn to discern the right time and suitable environment to express what they feel and think. In trustworthy environments and among people who share high spiritual values, vulnerability can flourish and create deep and enriching connections. Authenticity and protection go hand in hand for the chosen. When one learns to share only with those who truly deserve that trust, personal energy remains intact and strengthened. Being authentic does not mean revealing everything to everyone. Rather, it means being true to oneself, respecting one's own journey and timing. Conscious authenticity becomes a natural protection, a shield that allows the chosen to be who they truly are without feeling exposed or threatened. For the chosen, this well-directed vulnerability strengthens spiritual bonds, creates genuine relationships, and protects the deepest essence. It is not a rigid armor that separates them from others but rather an understanding that by connecting with those who genuinely share the same quest for purpose and truth, they can be fully themselves. And it is this balanced protection, this intentional openness, that enables the chosen to continue on their path of growth and evolution, being a light and inspiration to those they encounter. Self-care and self-compassion are the pillars that support the spiritual and emotional balance of the chosen. When facing toxic interactions or emotional challenges, it's normal to feel drained, exhausted, as if part of one's own energy has been taken. In these moments, self-care becomes not just a necessity but a sacred practice that allows the chosen one to restore themselves and reconnect with their essence. Taking care of oneself is an act of self-love, a way of reaffirming that their journey and well-being are precious. The practice of self-care goes beyond physical actions like resting, eating well, or taking care of the body. It also involves nurturing the spirit and mind. It's knowing how to give oneself the space to reflect, process emotions, and, above all, treat oneself with compassion. Many chosen ones carry a deep sense of responsibility and often feel they need to be strong all the time. But true self-care teaches that it's perfectly acceptable to be vulnerable, that it's healthy to allow oneself time to recharge, to release accumulated tensions, and to heal with patience and love. Self-compassion means embracing one's own emotions without demanding perfection from oneself. In a world that often expects quick results and constant resilience, the chosen may feel pressured to downplay their own suffering. However, self-compassion offers an alternative. By acknowledging their pain without judgment, they can find peace and acceptance, a space where they are allowed to feel as they truly are, without the need to pretend otherwise. This act of self-compassion is a spiritual embrace that replenishes the heart and soul. For the chosen, it's essential to adopt self-care practices that bring calm and renewal. Meditation, herbal baths, connecting with nature, and practices like journaling or speaking with oneself are ways to ease the mind and spirit. Deep breathing exercises and relaxation are like balm for invisible wounds, a way to restore serenity and strength. When a chosen one takes time for self-care, they reinforce their energy and prepare to face challenges with a light and resilient heart. By recharging their personal energy, the chosen one also becomes more aware of their value and mission. Self-care and self-compassion are thus ways to honor their own journey and to strengthen themselves to keep walking, even in the most difficult moments. In doing so, they become a source of light and inspiration to others, not for never wavering but for recognizing and embracing their own humanity and fragility. Releasing the need for external validation is one of the most powerful keys to an authentic and fulfilling spiritual path. For the chosen, this liberation is especially transformative as it eliminates the need for approval or recognition from others, allowing their actions and decisions to align solely with their life purpose and inner truth. In a world that constantly imposes external expectations and standards, achieving this freedom is like breaking an invisible chain, allowing energy to flow more freely and sincerely. Dependence on external validation leads us to seek outside what should come from within. Each time we look outward for acceptance or recognition, we weaken our connection to our own essence, yielding control of our identity to the judgment of others. When the need for external validation fades, one's view of the world and of oneself becomes clearer and more secure. The chosen begin to act according to what truly matters on their journey, free from the burdens and expectations others may try to impose. For the chosen, true emotional self-sufficiency lies in discovering their own value, independent of how others perceive them. This doesn't mean completely ignoring opinions or isolating oneself from the world, but rather cultivating an inner certainty that strengthens and allows them to listen to others without losing themselves. This self-sufficiency is one of the strongest shields against manipulation, as it prevents anyone from using validation or criticism to influence or divert them from their true purpose. It's important to remember that emotional self-sufficiency is not a path of isolation but of inner sovereignty. By finding value in themselves, the chosen transforms each interaction with others into a reflection of their own security and confidence. This freedom offers a new perspective, allowing relationships to be based on reciprocity and authenticity, without the need to please or conform to others' expectations. By trusting their own truth, the chosen transcend the need for external validation, connecting to a state of peace and self-love that fortifies the spirit. Turning experiences, especially difficult ones, into spiritual growth is a practice that requires courage and wisdom. On their journey, the chosen will encounter people and situations that will test them, sometimes deeply, in their patience, resilience, and inner strength. However, these experiences are not obstacles to growth but opportunities to strengthen the spiritual essence. With each challenge faced, the chosen comes closer to their essence and learns lessons that could not have been absorbed otherwise. For the chosen, each interaction, especially with those who represent opposing forces, is like a mirror reflecting internal patterns, fears, and even areas of self-sabotage that need to be acknowledged. By seeing each experience as a teacher, the chosen one becomes capable of identifying what needs transformation. Instead of being overwhelmed by pain or negativity, they can use this energy to grow and evolve, turning challenges into teachings and honing their personal and spiritual boundaries. Learning from painful experiences requires a deep and compassionate view of oneself and others. This means recognizing that difficulty does not arise to punish but to awaken. Often, when looking back, the chosen realizes that each test prepared them, directly or indirectly, for something greater that was to come. This is the path of spiritual maturity, transforming what appears to be a setback into a stepping stone, finding meaning and purpose in every obstacle that crosses their path. It's the understanding that even the most challenging encounters carry with them an invitation to self-knowledge and transformation. When the chosen observes experience with this wisdom, they become capable of transforming pain into strength, fear into courage, doubt into clarity. Each experience becomes a step, an opportunity to view life with greater compassion, self-knowledge, and truth. The duality between light and shadow is a profound and challenging theme on the chosen one's journey, especially when dealing with individuals of a narcissistic nature. These encounters are not merely incidents but opportunities to deepen spiritual awakening. Narcissists, often drawn to the light of the chosen, are not merely adversaries. They act as catalysts, urging the chosen to reflect on their purpose and their own light. These painful and unsettling encounters end up acting as a kind of test that forces the chosen to see more clearly where their own strength lies and how far they are willing to go to defend their authenticity and purpose. Every interaction with these individuals becomes a reminder of what it means to be light in a world where shadow also exists. For the chosen, these encounters challenge their notion of compassion and their boundaries of self-acceptance and forgiveness. But they also bring a valuable lesson: the need to reinforce one's boundaries and to value one's own energy. The suffering and manipulations that narcissists attempt to impose are, in essence, a call for the chosen to remain firm and remember who they are without being tempted to dim their own light to please others or avoid conflict. These painful encounters awaken in the chosen an even greater desire to express their truth. Instead of fearing the shadow, they learn to integrate it, realizing that by facing the darker aspects of themselves and others, they gain wisdom and discernment. By allowing for this growth, the chosen elevate themselves spiritually, realizing that their light is both their protection and their mission, and that nothing can shake them when they walk in alignment with their truth and purpose. Silence and solitude are, for the chosen, powerful and irreplaceable healing tools. After challenging experiences, especially those involving emotional manipulation or energy depletion, time in solitude acts as a balm, offering a chance to reconnect with one's spirit and restore inner balance. This period of introspection allows the chosen to withdraw from external voices and draw closer to their essence, in a space where peace is undisturbed by judgment or expectations. Silence, in this context, goes beyond the absence of sound. It is a state of inner quiet. In this sacred space of calm, the chosen aligns with their own frequency, reconnecting with their purpose and recalibrating their energy. When everything around is still, answers begin to emerge and intuition becomes clearer. This solitude is not abandonment. It is a conscious choice to find within oneself what the external world cannot provide. Amid silence, the chosen learns to trust their own company and understand that true strength comes from within. This time for reflection enables a deep healing process, where emotional wounds are acknowledged and gradually dissolved, leaving room for a new perspective and a stronger peace. This period of solitude and silence provides the spiritual rest necessary for the chosen to return to the world lighter and stronger. Emerging from this space of quiet, they carry renewed clarity, a sense of wholeness, and a stronger resolve to face any challenge that may arise. Thus, solitude becomes fertile ground for growth, where the chosen finds their true voice and remembers that their peace and purpose do not depend on anything external. The strength of authentic spiritual communities is a blessing for those on a journey of growth and self-discovery. When the chosen find people who share the same spiritual quest and the same values of sincerity, compassion, and elevation, they feel understood on a deep level. The importance of these connections lies in creating a safe and inspiring environment, where each individual feels free to share their experiences and insights without fear of judgment or rejection. In a genuine spiritual community, personal growth and mutual support are cultivated with respect and encouragement. Surrounded by like-minded souls, the chosen one realizes that their path, with all its challenges and victories, is not unique. There are others who also carry light and purpose and who, like them, face moments of doubt, testing, and discovery. This unity creates a space where energies harmonize, where collective wisdom can emerge to offer guidance, and where each member's presence contributes to a higher vibration. These communities teach the value of humility and altruistic contribution. Rather than competing or comparing, members of these communities strengthen one another. Throughout the spiritual journey, the relationships we cultivate become pillars of strength or tests of our authenticity. For a chosen one, the search for authentic spiritual communities is fundamental. Just as silence and solitude provide a space for self-connection, the presence of a true community aligned with spiritual values offers support that transcends the individual. Connecting with people who share the same desire for personal and spiritual growth creates a network of support where the chosen feel understood and nourished in their journey. In an authentic community, there's no need for masks. Each member can reveal their true self without fear of judgment or rejection. This freedom to be oneself becomes fertile ground for learning and mutual strengthening. Unlike superficial relationships, which drain energy, in a genuine spiritual community, energy expands. Here, individual gifts are respected and celebrated, and each person's growth contributes to strengthening the group as a whole. For the chosen, finding this network of like-minded souls is a gift. Instead of competing or measuring strength, these groups seek to uplift one another, recognizing the importance of each member's journey. There's an exchange of wisdom, compassion, and sincere support, where everyone is committed to growing together and offering help when needed. Thus, the presence of a true spiritual community acts as a refuge, allowing the chosen to navigate life's challenges with greater ease and courage. In this community, each member is a mirror to the others, bringing valuable lessons and helping reveal what still needs to be worked on within oneself. In moments of weakness, the members are a source of strength. In moments of doubt, they offer perspective. It's in this space of unity and trust that the chosen find the energy needed to move forward, knowing they are not alone and that there's always a circle of light to return to. Forgiveness is the key that frees the soul from the weight that the other does not deserve to carry. It gives us back the power to move forward without carrying the wounds others have caused. And forgiveness, in this sense, is not an acceptance or approval of the other's actions but a choice for freedom and peace. It is the act of choosing our peace over the desire for retaliation. When we forgive, we put a safe distance between our present and the actions that belong to the past. This genuine and conscious forgiveness helps break emotional and energetic ties that could drag us back into cycles of pain. Forgiving is also an expression of compassion for ourselves, as it allows us to close a cycle and finally stop giving the other power over our feelings and life. When a chosen forgives, they recognize their own light, resilience, and commitment to walk lightly and freely. However, forgiveness does not mean that we must allow the person back into our journey. Forgiveness does not require re-establishing ties, nor does it imply reconciliation. Forgiving is a personal act of liberation, not an invitation to repeat the same stories or reopen wounds. It is saying to oneself, I release you and the pain you caused me. I no longer carry the weight of your presence on my journey. In doing so, we open space for our energy to be restored, for our peace to settle, and for the heart to remain light. Forgiveness, in essence, is a path of deep and often unexpected healing. It gives us back our power and allows us to walk with our heads held high, free from the chains of resentment. Recognizing the pain, treating it with compassion, and allowing it to transform into learning is a sign of strength, not weakness. Thus, each time we forgive, we are growing and taking one more step toward our inner truth. This practice is a great act of courage and resilience, as it involves leaving behind everything that no longer serves us while affirming our determination to live fully, free from being prisoners of the past. The freedom of forgiveness prepares us to live with authenticity and clarity, removing the invisible weights that obscure our light. For a chosen one, each act of forgiveness becomes a declaration of freedom and strength. It is a sign that we do not allow others' actions to control our peace because we have the power to transcend pain and choose a path of peace. As you move forward in your spiritual journey, always remember that the true purpose of the chosen is not to accumulate power over others but to strengthen inner power, the power that remains untouched even in the face of the greatest adversities. It is this power that lights the path, that nurtures your peace, and that is reflected in your ability to grow and strengthen with each new challenge. To all those who have followed along, remember that this channel is a community that values growth, self-knowledge, and inner truth. If this content resonated with you, support our mission. Like this video, share it with those who may benefit from this message, and subscribe to the channel to join a community that seeks, above all, authenticity and spiritual elevation. Here, we are together in this journey of awakening and strengthening. Thank you so much for being here and for striving to expand your light.